friend, welcome to day number 2. This is where we get started on your true journey to dominate the stock market. Now, yesterday you had a chance to go through your personal vision and you stated your purpose for being a part of this program. You set some goals for yourself. So the expectation was for each and every one of you to get your homework done and assign that goal, assign that objective, that real thing you're reaching for every single day. So to let me know that you got your homework done, drop a comment down below and let me know your purpose. Okay, so I want to start out today by giving you my purpose. Why did I join this industry? Well, reason number 1 is I wanted to make lots of money so that I could live life on my terms and provide a great lifestyle for my wife and daughter. And I also wanted to spend as much time with them as possible and not have to go spend 8 to 10 hours a day at a lousy job. So think about it. What is your goal? Did you assess your goal and your dream, and are you willing to go all in? Because listen, if you're going to do something just half-assed or, average, then guess what? You're going to get half-assed or average results. So what I need from you is massive action so that we can get massive results. Your expectation for this program should be, I want results. So I know you're sitting over there saying, over the next few weeks, I want to put $5,000 in my pocket. Or over the next 60 days, I want to put serious money into my bank account. Or over the next year. And you know what? It's not unrealistic in any way, shape, or form, okay? Set your goals high. If you fall short of your goal, let's say you want to make $500,000 over the next year, and you only make $100,000, or say you want to make $1 million over the next 12 months, and you only make $250,000, I'd rather you fall short of a lofty goal than say, all I want to do is pay my rent. That is not the goal we want to set. Okay, so your homework and your assignments, I hope that you got them done because it sets a precedent for what we're getting into today. Okay, are you ready to rock and roll? Okay, my friend, welcome to day number 2. Listen, yesterday, day number 1 was all about overall market strategy. It was the big picture stuff. So today, day number 2, we dive deeper into that and we start to develop this process and create this blueprint on how to really engage that strategy and start to put it in motion. Okay, so here's a cool thing. I'm going to take all of my years of research and hard work and all of the time that I spent figuring this thing out, and I'm going to give you just a few points, just a few terms that you need to understand in order to successfully implement this strategy. My friend, listen up. You are about to join an industry that I love, that I'm passionate about, okay? So several years ago, I got the bug, I got the itch, and I really started to try to get this thing going so that I could live life on my terms. I decided to become a day trader. My friend, this is what your journey is going to revolve around. This is where you're going to start, and this is what you are going to become. Okay, so think about it like this. A day trader is someone that buys stocks and then turns around and sells them on the same day to make rapid profits. Listen, not everyone can do this, okay? And the reason why is because there's 3 levels of day traders. There's 3 different levels that day traders are engaging in. Okay, so pay close attention. Not that you weren't paying attention, but listen, if you're on Facebook, whatever, close it out, okay? Just be with me here because I'm going to teach you something very, very important. It's going to change your whole way of thinking, okay? If you grasp this, if you understand this, and, obviously I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process, and I'm going to, take you by the hand and lead you through it. But you need to understand and grasp this concept yourself, okay? If you don't understand this, then you're going to suffer. Your results are going to suffer. Statistically, 90% of day traders lose money. Okay, the reason is they don't know how to do it correctly. Let me show it to you. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it to you in a way that's going to make sense and so that you can understand it. Okay, so there's what I call 3 levels of day trading. Okay, so level number 1, this is what I call the amateur model. Amateur model. Okay, listen, there's a lot of people in this industry and that are just starting out that are playing this game, okay? Listen, I was playing this game when I first started out and, I had no idea how to make money trading stocks, okay? So let me show you how I did it, all right? So obviously our goal over here is to make some money, right? So I went on to Google and, this is what they told me. They said, we're going to send you this list from this expert list of stocks. We're going to send you this list, and all you have to do is you have to buy these stocks on this list and you're gonna make some money, all right? So this expert list was going to make us some money. So I got super excited about it, and I said, I paid for this guy to send me his list, and I said, I'm gonna buy these stocks on this list, I'm gonna make some money, and it's gonna be a piece of cake, right? Well, listen, what I didn't tell you was, when I first started out, listen, I didn't have very much money, okay? And I was doing this. And after 2 months, I had literally lost nearly $8,000 doing this. So I was just very, very fortunate at the time that I had the right mentor come into my life, and at the right time, and I was just smart enough to listen to him. Okay, so why didn't this work? Well, listen, I had no idea what this guy's strategy was or how he was picking his stocks. And I had no idea at what price to buy those stocks for. Okay, so listen, my friend, if you are doing this, this is a recipe for disaster. If you're doing this model right here, you need to stop it right now. Okay, this is not how you make money here in this industry. The majority of day traders, they're doing level 1, and that's why they're not making any money. Okay, so if you want to make money, you need to do what I call the pro model. Pro model. This is level 2. Okay, so obviously, again, over here, we want to make some money. All right, and this is what I created, and this is the blueprint that I've been telling you about, okay? And it looks like this. It's a cycle, okay? You must complete this cycle in its entirety in order to be successful, okay? And see, I was doing this amateur, okay? And I wasn't making any money. I started doing this and implementing this process, and I started making money, okay? And the first step in our cycle here is to use what's called a stock screener. And I was taught this, okay? I was taught this, and I was just a good student. And that's what I'm telling you guys. If you just follow what I'm teaching you here and model what I'm teaching you here, you're gonna see results, okay? So, first thing is, we're going to use a stock screener. And what this does is basically we set up some parameters and it creates a list for us, okay? A list of stocks that we think we can make some money off of, all right? That's step number 1. Step number 2 is I found a really cool way to optimize that list, okay? If I can spell right, optimize. Let me change this, optimize. Okay, so the screener spits out a list for us. We take that list and we optimize it because we need to get very, very focused, okay? We need to narrow that list down to just the 3 or 4 stocks that we think can make us the most money, all right? Those 3 or 4 stocks, that becomes our watch list, okay? Once we have our watch list, step number 3 is we plan our entry into those stocks, okay? Or we figure out what price are we willing to pay for each of those stocks on our list, okay? If the stock hits this price, we're gonna buy the stock. That's our plan of entry, all right? Once we have all of this in place, the last step, we have our plan in place, we know what price we're willing to pay for it. All we have to do now is we have to stick to the plan. We have to follow the plan. Follow plan, that's it. We plan on making money. If we follow the plan, we're gonna make some money. Okay, so listen, my friend, this right here, this is your world, okay? This is your business. This is the most important thing I can do as a trader is engineer this properly. How good I am at this process dictates how much results I get over here, okay? So that's it. This is what we are going to do today and tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through this process, each step, and show you how to do it. I'll show you exactly how I do it. Okay, so there's one more level here that we're going to talk about, and it is called total domination. And this is huge, my friend. Okay, this is huge. Not much difference between pro and total domination level, but the only difference here is now you're a part of a professional community. a professional community of like-minded traders, okay? So you're gonna go through this process, the same process that you would in the pro model. Now you can compare your list with other people's lists that have the same strategy and the same process as you. Okay, you can compare your notes, you can ask questions, you can get advice from people that already have knowledge and experience in implementing this process, okay? And let me tell you how significant this is. When you have a group of like-minded people, they all have the same goal, they're all working towards perfecting the same strategy and the same process, my friend, this is where you can see massive results, okay? So I'm not gonna go into too much detail because obviously I'm gonna walk you through this step by step as we continue through the program, okay? But at the very, very least, you wanna be at the pro level. And this is where we're going to get you up to the pro level today and tomorrow on day 3, okay? And then on day 4, we're gonna kick it up a notch and we're gonna really engage this total domination level, all right? So let's go ahead and move on. And the first step in our process here, our blueprint, is this stock screener, okay? We're gonna create a list of stocks that we think can make us some money by using a stock screener. We're gonna do that step by step right now, okay? So bear with me, I'm gonna switch over so that you guys can see my computer screen because I don't want you to miss anything, okay? I want you to see exactly what it is that I'm doing here, all right? So bear with me just a second. And okay, here we go. All right, so hop on over to www.finviz.com, Finviz.com. All right, when you get there, go ahead and click on this tab called Screener. Okay, and what this does is it gives us a list of all of the stocks that we could potentially buy and sell. And if you notice this thing over here, there's 359 pages of stocks, and there's what, like 20 per page. So that's a really, really big number. There's no way we could ever do research on all of those stocks. So what the screener allows us to do is to set up some specific parameters that are going to help us and give us only the stocks that fit into our strategy and what it is that we're trying to do. Okay, so instead of us doing a whole bunch of research, the screener just basically does the work for us. And the best part is it's free. Okay, pretty cool, right? So I'm not going to go over all of these different categories, but I'm just going to give you the ones that we need to change. And based on my years of experience, I've tweaked this over the years a little bit, but this is what works best for me, okay? The first thing is I changed this average volume to over 750K, okay? Volume over 750,000. And volume is very important, okay? It tells us how many shares of a stock have been traded for the day. And it's important for 2 reasons, okay? First, it gives us an indication of how many people have eyes on this stock, all right? The more popular a stock is with other traders, it can be an indication of its potential for big profits, all right? The second reason volume is important is because if we buy a stock, then, we want to make sure that when we get ready to sell it, that there will be enough buyers to buy our shares, okay? There's nothing worse than watching the price of your stock go down and there's nothing you can do about it because no one will buy your shares. Okay, so we want a good amount of volume. All right, the second thing we're going to change is price, and we're going to change this to under 15. All right, I understand that most of you are not trading with tens of thousands of dollars, so we're going to focus on smaller price stocks. And these are typically more volatile stocks anyway, which means they can make big moves quickly, which that's what we're looking for anyway. Okay, so that knocked off a lot of pages for us, but it's still way too many for us to look at. So now we're going to narrow it down some more. So go up here and click on this tab that says technical. So this is what's so great about this screener. Okay, now we're going to really narrow down and get really specific on what it is we're looking for. Okay, first thing is performance. Change this to today up. Okay, remember, we're looking for trends. If they were up today, then we are looking for them to continue that trend and carry that momentum into tomorrow. All right? Up next, go over here to volatility. We want stocks that move an average of at least 5% per week. All right? When we make a trade, we want to at least make, somewhere between 6 to 10%, at least. All right, so we don't even want to look at the stocks that don't move at least, 5%. So that's what this does for us. So that narrowed it down quite a bit for us. As you can see, now there's only 3 pages, but still, we want to take it a step further because we want to get laser focused. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to click on this tab down here called Charts. All right, and what this does is it brings up the charts for every stock that's on that list. All right, and then click on Candle. All right, so here's in one screen we can kind of see all of these different charts together. And I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to pick some out, and then later on I'm going to show you what it is that I'm looking for in these charts and why I pulled these specific charts out. All right, so we have BVN and CJES, CLRB. Here we go, EXEL. I like that one. Here HK. Let's take this one out. Here we go. Let's see here. NM. Let me pull that one out. And let's see. PTX. I like this. I like this. REXX. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, next page. Last page here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take this one. VMEM. Let's take that. There's a little bit of a flag pattern there. All right, so I've pulled just a couple stock charts out so that I can show you what it is that I'm looking at and why I pulled these specific charts out. All right, so first thing is, one of the most consistent patterns and setups that you will find in the market is what's called the ascending triangle. All right, it's a huge indication that a breakout is coming. So anytime we see an ascending triangle, we want to keep our eyes on that stock. All right, and this is what the ascending triangle looks like. All right, you can see there's a flat resistance here at the top, and then the stock kind of consolidates towards that resistance, and it has what's called higher lows. All right, and higher low, it's exactly what it says. All right, this low is higher than this low. This low is higher than this low, so on and so forth, and it's sort of grinding up towards this resistance here. All right, so if you look at REXX, we have sort of this ascending triangle in this portion or in this section of the chart. Okay, now it's not a perfect ascending triangle. There's the resistance is not necessarily flat up here at the top, but we have the added bonus with it being near $1. Okay, anytime we have a chart or a setup that is close to these nice round even numbers, then that's like you get double your money for that, okay? Because these nice round even numbers, they're what I call magnets. All right, stocks tend to gravitate towards nice round even numbers. All right, so knowing that it's not a perfect ascending triangle, but it is close to this $1 mark. If it breaks out, then this could be a huge breakout for us. All right, so that's why I've got REXX on the list. All right. Next up is CLRB. Again, we have, this is like a flagpole with a triangle with this wedge here at the bottom, or over here on the side, all right? So a nice big flagpole here, and then we have this is more of a symmetrical triangle, but it's still this wedge shape, right? Anytime we have this wedge shape, then it's, especially, if it's combined with this flagpole here, it's a good indication that a breakout is coming. All right, and then CLRB, I want you to notice this. Over here on this side, you see this gap here in the chart? This is called a gap down. Anytime you see a gap in the chart, the market tends to fill that gap. It wants to, it has this void, and it wants to fill that void. So if you see this flagpole here, it fills this gap. All right, and that happens a lot. Anytime you see a gap up or a gap down, the market, a lot of times it will fill that gap eventually. So the reason I have HK down here is because it has gap down, and then you see this big gap here in the chart, and it's starting to uptrend. It looks like it's starting to try to fill that gap. So that's why HK is on the list, because I'm looking for this big flagpole here on HK. I'm looking for it to go ahead and continue to try to fill that gap so that we can make some money. So these are just two of the patterns that I like to trade and that I look for, okay? The ascending triangle, and like I said, this is the most consistent, tried and true pattern that you're gonna find in the market, all right? Every day trader looks and trades these ascending triangles because they're indicators of potential breakouts, all right? I also like the gap fill. You know, for me, it's easy to find, and I've made a lot of money off of it. I've been very successful trading the gap fill, all right? So these are two of my favorite. There's several other patterns that I look for and that I trade, and if you're interested in checking those out, I've provided a link for you in your assignment for tonight. Okay, so I feel like we have a pretty good list here. We've got 9 stocks. You know, they're chart patterns that I like, but you know, we need to go a step further, okay? Because when it comes time to start trading, you know, you don't want to have 9 stocks that you're looking at. That's just too many, all right? Things can get out of hand, you can get overwhelmed, and you know, trading stock can be a very emotional process, all right? So one way to combat that is we get very laser focused and we try to make as few decisions as possible, okay? And one way that we do that is we just narrow our focus down to just 3 or 4, you know, sometimes even 5 stocks. All right, and let me show you how we do that, okay? So first thing is I'm just gonna open up this document and put all of these stocks in one place so I can compare them kind of side by side here. All right, so let me head over to yahoofinance.com so that I can look at the intraday chart. And I'll tell you what this means here in just a second. But let me get this first one pulled up over here, and it's CLRB. Okay, so this is what we got going on. Over here on the left, we have a daily chart. And this is like a snapshot of what the stock has done over the last 3 months. Okay, each one of these candlesticks represents a day in the market. Well, over here on the right, this is the intraday chart, and this is a snapshot of what the stock has done just today. All right, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the intraday and the daily chart for those to be kind of cohesive and be in tune and in sync with each other. Because when that happens, then that tells me that, you know, it's a good pattern and it's a higher percentage of predictability when the two match. Okay, so for example, CLRB, if you look at the daily chart over here on the left, there's a flagpole and then the stock starts to consolidate to, you know, that price point of about $3.45. So I'm looking for the intraday chart to match that, okay? I'm looking for the intraday chart to also have a consolidation towards that same price point. And as you can see here, this intraday chart, it has no real pattern and no real structure. So I'm gonna actually take this stock off of my watch list. I'm not interested in trading stocks that have no pattern and no structure on the intraday chart. All right, so that's one stock off of our list. So we're gonna continue to narrow it down. We're gonna make some cuts. So let's move on to CJES. Okay, so this one, if you look over on the daily chart, it's kind of uptrending over the last few days, and we're kind of grinding up towards that dollar mark. Remember I told you about magnets? Well, a dollar is a very strong magnet. All right, so I kind of expect this stock to continue to grind towards that dollar. And if you look at the intraday chart over here on the right on Yahoo Finance, and you can kind of see that same thing, right? It's grinding up towards that dollar. So the two charts kind of match, and that's what we're looking for. Also on this intraday chart, if you look at this last section over here, we kind of have an ascending triangle over here at the end of the day, right? We kind of have a flat top resistance there at 95 cents, and you know, it's making higher lows and higher lows. So I really like this setup. This is one I'm going to keep a close eye on. So I'm going to keep this one on my list. All right, let's take a look at BVN here. And you know, this stock it's kind of uptrending on the intraday chart, but you know, it only gained, you know, about 2% today, right? And I'm looking to make a lot more money than just 2%. I want a lot better return on my money than just 2%. So there's not enough volatility for me on this intraday chart. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off the list as well. All right, up next is VMEM. All right, so this stock has really gotten legs this month, and it's got lots and lots of momentum, and it continues to grind up, you know, grind up towards those magnet numbers that we talked about. You know, 75 cents is also a magnet number. It's not as strong as the dollar, but as you can see on this intraday chart, you know, it grinds up to 75 cents, and it kind of hits resistance there. So what I want to see is I want to see if we can continue the momentum and see if this breaks past the 75 cents and then moves up to $1. So I'm going to keep an eye on this chart. If it breaks past 75 cents tomorrow, I'm probably going to trade it. All right, so we're going to keep this one on the list. All right, REXX, once again, take a look at the intraday chart. See if you can guess what it is that I'm looking at, right? I'm looking for it to go again towards that magnet number of $1. So if you can't tell, I love stocks that are uptrending towards these magnet numbers, because a lot of times, you know, those magnets, they're strong forces in the market. Okay, so REXX, I'm keeping this one on my list, and I'm looking for it to grind up towards that dollar. All right, up next, PTX. So if you look at the intraday on this one, you can see that it's got a lot of momentum in the beginning of the day, lots of, big volume spike here, and looks pretty good. But, midday it kind of starts to fade a little bit, starts to lose momentum, picks back up a little bit at the end of the day. So, it's not a bad chart. It still looks like it's still up on the day, and it could bounce back and regain its momentum tomorrow. So this is one that, I want to keep an eye on. I'm not too excited about it, but you never know. So we'll keep it on the list. We'll see how it goes. All right, NM. Again, not really enough volatility for me on this one. So let's take this one off of our list. All right, here we have HK. Looking at another gap fill pattern here with HK. So let's look at the intraday. And yeah, everything looks good with this. It was kind of flat at the beginning of the day, but we had a nice rally at the end of day. So I'll be looking for this momentum to continue tomorrow, and hopefully we can fill that gap. All right, last one here is EXEL. And, I'm not real interested in this one either. There was a big shot out of the gate, and it looks like it couldn't break past 750, and there was a big fall there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off the list as well. All right, my friends, so that's it for today. We narrowed our list all the way down to just 5 stocks, and we created a super strategic watch list with some great setups. And so tomorrow, we're just going to plan our entry into those stocks. We're going to stick to the plan, and we're going to make some money. All right, guys, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow. We're going to see the actual results of this watch list. All right, you're going to see how those stocks performed and how that translates into cash into your pocket. Then we're also going to talk about the power of compounding. And guys, this is just mind-blowing stuff, all right? And you're going to be able to see what kind of money you can potentially generate and what it's going to take for you to be able to quit your job and start living life on your terms. All right, so check out your assignments for tonight. First thing is, on the list is, guess what? I'm giving you a free gift, all right? It's a PDF copy of my Total Stock Market Domination Blueprint. This is something that sells for $17 over on my website, but I'm giving it to you for free just for being a part of this program. All right, so I want you to print that out. Go through steps 1 and steps 2. It's basically everything that we did today. All right, it's the stock screener and the optimize your list and create your own watch list tonight. All right, second thing is I want you to go over to finviz.com, create that free account so that you can actually start using the stock screener. All right, third thing, last thing on the list is, listen, you need a trading account in order to trade stocks. All right, so I've provided for you some information to kind of get that rolling. All right, so that's it, guys. Get your homework done. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.